Horus eye, the king gains a type of regeneration and an enrichment of strength through the goddess. He receives his strength through the goddess. Isn't that fascinating? In fact, some of the Egyptian crowns personified the goddesses themselves, which the king then put on his head and ruled the people. With their powers and the blessings, of course, the goddess crown of Net is described, we are told, as one of power. The Net crown awakens in peace. The crown defeats the enemies of the king. It is the crowns that awaken the fear and the love to the king as power bearers. But above all, we are taught that Mot joins substantially with the royal throne. Mot verbindet sich substanziell mit dem königlichen Thron. Pharaoh is on that throne of Isis, and Mot joins substantially with that. Again, Isis and Mot and King Pharaoh on the throne. Isis is the personification of the throne. The entire purpose of the Egyptian ritual myths and dramas was directed toward actively communicating with the Neteru, that is, the gods, to engender participation in Mot, or balance. The Egyptian practice of their sacred science was to tune them into a higher frequency, enabling the aspirant to assimilate, generate, or transform subtler cosmic nourishment into spiritual form and force, and divinize the mortal form. And while I'm at it, this is very rookie-ish, I know, but I want to show you this. This is Amun-Re. Notice what a weird conglomeration of deities this is. They are combining all the aspects of every possible god in this form. He didn't really look like this, of course not. It's symbolic of all the attributes of all the gods. But that's how they were depicting their gods. This is not meant to be literal. It's just showing that all of the gods are united with Pharaoh, and so he has all of his powers and functions. I have another one here too that I want to show you. Oh yes, this is of the Sippus of Horus. This is the reverse. This is the combined deity on the Metternich-Stele. Let me see if I can show that to you. There you go. This is the combined deity of the Metternich-Stele. It shows the combinations of symbols of different gods and their functions, their powers, and their offices. Maybe I can get this in the sunlight. Will that be easier? Oh, there we go. That's better. There we go. What a rookie I am, huh? But notice the different, he's got the different wings, and he's got the scepter, and he's got all that headgear, and but he's got a hawk tail. But the idea is to show the attributes of the gods in their symbols. They didn't believe the king had wings like that, but they're combining as much as possible into each symbol. This is how the Egyptians worked. This is how the Egyptians did it. I think I have another one for you. Oh yeah, here's another one. Oh, well, this is beautiful. This is the different winds. This is the different winds. They didn't really think that the east wind had a winged ram's head like that. They knew the wind was not a winged ram. It's symbolic. Rams don't have wings. They knew that. Here's the north wind. The north wind was a four-headed, four-winged ram. It's not pictured as reality, but this is a symbol. It's the same thing with Mot and Isis as the throne. They're depicting an underlying reality to the symbolic forms. That's what they're trying to show us. Then they do the same thing with the south wind and the west wind. Let me show you these. Again, they're winged figures. They're different from each other, but they personify them as a ram and a snake. But they knew the wind wasn't like this. It's precisely this way that Isis and Mot are symbolized as women. They are cosmic principles. That's why they can be identified. Well, here we go. Here it is. Here's the picture I wanted to show you. Let me show you in the sun. That way you can see it better. Boy, what an amateur I am, huh? This is Mot. And she's personified as a winged female. They knew females didn't have wings. The idea of order is not a woman. It's a symbol. Look at this symbol. Can you see that? This is Khonsu the Great. He's a two-headed, four-winged deity. It represents a cosmological event, actually. This is symbolizing the conjunction of the sun and the moon. But notice how they symbolize things. This is the same principle in our facsimiles that we have to begin to start understanding. Here again, this is another beautiful depiction here. This is really interesting. Let me see if I can get out of the light. Duh. Can you see that? I hope. This is the symbol of Nun, the primordial waters, and he's holding up the solar ship with Osiris circling as the earth above. See, here's Osiris up here, and this is the ship of the god here, and this is Nun. Now, they symbolized it as a person, but they knew it wasn't a person. The Egyptians understood that the primordial waters is not a man, but they symbolized it as such. Very interesting, isn't it? Their way is not our way. Oh, and this is another beautiful one. This is Khonsu. He has the combined aspects of the sun and the moon, the male sun and the female moon. But that's how they symbolized Khonsu. So you can see there's something different going on with them than there is with us. Okay, I'm just taking off from the kilns. There they are. And they go back out to the mountain. Wrap this puppy up. Here's the tail end of another gorgeous Idaho sunset. I missed the sun going down below the mountains, darn it, but here's the sky. The sky is pretty spectacular.